Hey everyone, back again with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batmobile Rebirth. Okay, I'm out of breath. I got this car early. I have a buddy who kind of hooks me up with stuff a little bit early. He's in Canada. He helped me get the Maximum Series Spider-Man a couple months ago, a little bit early. I believe this is supposed to come out in November. Thought it was a McFarlane Toy exclusive, but apparently it's not. I guess GameStop or EB Games in Canada, they have access to it. Anyways, I'm blabbering, so I got it early, so I'm going to review it. Again, it's based upon the DC Rebirth Batmobile that debuted in 2016. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty decent. So you can see the front. My light. There you go. Sorry about that. The front. This comes off. It doesn't come like this. It comes apart. The eyes, the Batmobile eyes, they're white. It would have been cool if there would have been a light up feature on it, but it's not. The tires are rubber. It's pretty thick. As you can see, it's definitely based upon its inspiration from the Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. As you can see, it's a pretty nice size. Don't have a measuring tape to measure it, but it's a pretty good size. It is meant for the 7-inch figures from McFarlane, but to me, it's under scale for 7-inch. I mean, for me personally, whenever I buy the vehicles from McFarlane, the Batmobiles, I usually get them for my 6-inch figures because they are meant for 7-inch, but they better scale with 6-inch figures, my MyFX figures and any customs that I have. So here it is, the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but there is the Batman logo there. I'm actually surprised there's no Batman logos, the bat symbol on the tire, because a lot of times the Batmobile usually have it. Here's the front, the engine, which is kind of weird that Batman will have his engine and stuff outside, but what dumb criminal's gonna want to sit there and mess with the Batmobile? So it opens up, the cockpit opens up with this button here. It comes forward. Don't know if you can see inside. Let me get the light. It's not much as far as inside. As you can see, the control panel with stickers is not sculpted on. It's a bunch of stickers. I wish this thing would have been have some electronics on it. I mean, especially for the price. And of course, it's a one-seater, which one thing I dislike about Todd's Batmobiles and vehicles is they're always one-seaters, which I don't really recall this. Batman having somebody in the car with him when he was riding in this in the comics. Maybe he did. I don't know, but it would have been nice for it to be a two-seater. Yeah, it's definitely definitely takes inspiration from the Batman animated series Batmobile, which that Batmobile along with the '89 Batmobile, that's like people's favorite Batmobiles. So, and I like this. Also, there's inspiration, with the front, with the bat symbol or something, whatever. The Batmobiles from the Golden Age and part of the Silver Age, I believe, also added like the bat symbol or a bat type of thing on the front. So it takes inspiration for it. So it's a pretty nice sized car. Has some suspension to it, but forgot how much. Well, it's supposed to be, I think, $90 for it, which I feel like it should be $75, especially since the '89 Batmobile that came out a couple years ago was cheaper. And I feel like this should have come with a Rebirth Batman, but they didn't do it. They make you pay separate for it, which I'm gonna talk on that. I don't got that figure yet. I have it pre-ordered with McFarlane. But yeah, I think McFarlane, I want to say greedy, but they have kind of been somewhat, I don't want to discuss it because they're losing the license. I guess they don't really care, whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to do some figure comparison and compare with some other Batmobiles from the line. I'll be right back. All right, back again. This is the Rebirth Batman. This would actually, I like this costume, but it didn't last too long in the comics. It lasted for maybe a year or two before he went back to his gray and black or gray and blue, depending on who's the artist. But I like this suit. And a lot of people don't like this figure because it was undersized. And of course, that's an issue with McFarlane because a lot of their figures, their sizes don't match up. But you can kind of squeeze this figure in with 6-inch figures. Now, this is the Batman that came in the 3-pack with Batwoman and Clayface. And it has the plastic cape, which that's when they were still doing the plastic capes with their figures. And here, of course, here is the regular release Batman Rebirth. So as you can see, plastic cape, which I like this figure. Yeah, I like this figure. And this is way out of scale, but this is the DC Collectibles, the DC Essentials, if I can get them to stand, Batman. This is the variant version, because there was a one that was black and blue. This one was black and gray. This came out toward the end of the line with DC Collectibles. I did like this line, but, you know, all the male characters share the same body, you know, plastic cape. So it goes good, but getting back to, so he has the plastic cape. There is the Rebirth Batman coming in November. So it has the plastic cape, or has a wired cape, so it should be able to fit in this. But let's see if I can possibly jam this in. Probably not. So. Oh, actually, hold up. Let me see if I can. I mean, you probably can. I'm not going to force it, but you probably could with the older figure, but it's definitely meant for the cape. So, yeah, that's not going to work, unfortunately. But let's see what this other one. This is the Batman, the new 52 Batman. I think this was an Amazon exclusive. It came with like a glider type of thing. It has the wired cape. It's basically the same Batman as the Rebirth Batman. It's just, you know, it's got the new 52 style, but it's the same buck. So let's see if he can fit, which he probably should be able to. Yeah, he actually fits really, really snug. Don't know if you can. So, yeah, he fits. Yeah, closing it. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the figure. You can kind of see him. Try to. Yeah, so. Yeah, he fits in. So, which obviously he was going to fit because, you know, that's the same buck. It's the Rebirth. So there you go. I mean, it was kind of weird because, you know, there's no thigh swivel, which McFarlane doesn't like doing thigh swivel. And the main reason why I got this Batmobile was for my Mafex Batman figures. Now, technically, this is not Mafex. This is actually the CT Toys Batman, Bayman, or whatever you call it. But it's the same figure base. I have the original, I have the authentic, but I don't feel like digging them out. This figure was within reach, so I decided to pull it and test it out. So I did this off camera before when I got the Batmobile over the weekend. So it does fit, but I just wanted to just demonstrate it on camera. And yeah, he fits perfect. He fits better than the McFarlane figures because, you know, McFarlane, when it comes to articulation, he's not a fan of it. So yeah. Sorry, it's not focusing. So, as you can see, he fits in perfect. And that's why I got this Batmobile. That was one of the main reasons I got this Batmobile, because I wanted to use it for my Mafex figures. Like I said earlier in the video, a lot of times I buy these Batmobiles from McFarlane because I feel like they're undersized for, or they're too small or undersized for McFarlane's figures, but they're perfect for Mafex. All right, so now I'm gonna compare this Batmobile with some other Batmobiles from McFarlane. So stay tuned. All right, back. Here is the Batmobile from Rebirth with the McFarlane 89 Batmobile. I didn't get the CAG set for Ramen Toys. I don't feel like I needed it. I mean, yes, it comes with the guns, but I don't feel like I needed it. So, and that's one of the things I like about McFarlane. I mean, they get a lot of crap, but we've gotten so many Batmobiles in the last, he's had a license since 2020, and it's now 2025, and we've gotten almost every single Batmobile, comic-wise or whatever, which we're still waiting on, like, I think from rumors, there was supposed to be the Batman 66 Batmobile that's scaled for McFarlane 7-inch figures. We got the Adam West Batman, was it last year or earlier this year? Can't remember, but hopefully that figure comes with a Robin. Can't think of his name right now, but the 66 Robin or Alfred or Joker. So, but yeah, as you can see, they scale pretty well together. And even though this is for 7-inch, it works better with Mesco. I use it for the Mesco Batman, which was a disappointing Batman, but it's like the only 6-inch Batman from the 89 movie that's actually decent, because the figure arts one was crap. I know Mafex is coming out with a Keaton Batman, but that's from the Flash movie. I'm like, dude, just give us a good Keaton Batman. That's what I'm saying. So those are those two compared. Now I'm gonna do another one. Okay, this is a Spin Master Batmobile. It's meant for like smaller figures towards kids, but a lot of us pick up these Batmobiles because, you know, they can fit with our 6-inch figures. Some 7-inch figures, as you can see, it's way too small. But this was the Batmobile that a lot of us were using for a comic style Batmobile. I mean, I don't think it's based upon any particular comic, but here it is. Okay, and speaking of 66, here's the Mattel 66 Batmobile. Like I said earlier in the video, hopefully McFarlane, well, it is rumored, which the rumors the people who say the rumors they're pretty accurate. They pretty much predict everything that's gonna happen. So this is the Mattel Batmobile for their 66 line from 10 years ago, I think, or whatever. I just have this as a display piece because none of the sick figures would fit in this thing. But as you can see, just for scale purposes, I'm doing all the Batmobiles. Don't know if you can see this on camera, but yeah, this thing dwarfs. Okay, now gonna do something a little bit different. Not a Batmobile per se, but this is the Bat Raptor, I think. This was released the first few months of the line. I remember I bought it at Target back in 2020, and it was cool. This is like a thing that extends out. And like I was saying before, McFarlane, or I don't know if I said it before, but one of the things I like about McFarlane is they give us vehicles, which some people might argue the vehicles are cheap, which this thing is pretty good. It doesn't feel cheap. And it was like $20, $25 for it. So this was nice. I like that. Something else. This was the White Knight Bat Cycle. I don't have the White Knight figure. I didn't like the style of the figure or the characters, but so if you want to have Nightwing on this, or maybe Damian Wayne riding with them, it's cool. And speaking of White Knight, if I can reach it, this is the White Knight McFarlane from McFarlane. And I like this Batmobile. I didn't read too much of the story, but I like this Batmobile. This is a nice vehicle, and as you can see, it's longer than it's shorter than the Rebirth Batmobile, but this is cool. I like this. So that's the Rebirth Batmobile. This is the Tumbler Batmobile. Sorry. And as you can see, which some people feel like it's too short for, and well, it is to me, it's too short for the 7-inch figures, but this goes perfect with the Mafex Dark Knight Batman that I have, and Figure Arts Batman, and of course how do you say InArt Batmobile? That one's, or Batman, that's a little bit smaller than the other Batman, but it fits perfectly with it. And this is like the only Batmobile that McFarlane has produced that is two-seaters. That's the ironic thing about it. Okay, it's a little bit different. This is the Joker Mobile. Was a Target exclusive. It was actually made by DC Collectibles. It was supposed to be released, but for whatever reason they canceled it. So McFarlane, they put it out. It's a Target exclusive, so you could have Batman chasing the Joker in this vehicle. This next one is from a different company, but it's still Batman themed. This is the Mattel Justice League Batmobile. It's not the RC version. This is just the regular one that they produced. I did not back the fundraiser or the GoFundMe or whatever for the Dawn of Justice Batmobile or the Justice League, because I was gonna try to get the was it Jazz Inc. Batmobile, but it was expensive, like $400, and I was gonna get that one, but then when I heard that McFarlane was doing this Batmobile, I was like, okay, I can get this Batmobile for a lot cheaper. But then when I saw it, it was only a one-seater, and I'm like, nah. And then I forgot the name of the company, but it's a foreign company. They are licensed to produce vehicles. They're coming out with the Batmobile from the DCEU. It should be probably the end of this year, but it's probably not going to be till early next year. That's a two-seater, so I'm getting that. I get that pre-ordered. Can't wait for that. So the Rebirth Batmobile is lengthwise, it's longer. Widthwise, I don't know, probably about the same. Okay, another Batmobile. from McFarlane. This is the Batman for, yeah, as you can see, well, the tail or whatever. But, so yeah, this one, are they? I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, but this Batmobile, don't know if you can see that. This might be a little bit longer. Again, this is a one-seater Batman Forever. I do have the Batman and Robin Batmobile, but it's in my garage. Don't feel like digging it out. I have limited space now. Is my toy room that I have is getting filled up, and my wife is like, "No, you're not using another room for toys." So we compromise. That's what you do when you're married. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to Stephanie. Love you, baby. And okay, the last one I'm going to compare it to is the one that is most inspired by is the animated series Batmobile. And this is the McFarlane, this is the DC Collectibles one. I do have the McFarlane one. I bought that when it was released. This is the one that was released from DC Collectibles years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So, and this is definitely what inspired this Batmobile. That's a lot of fans' favorite Batmobile, which it's mine, but I actually like the Batmobile from the new Batman Adventures Batmobile. I was hoping that they would make that Batmobile, McFarlane, but probably not, because there's probably not enough fan support, and they're losing the license next year, so they're probably not going to spend the money for the tooling or whatnot to produce it. But I kind of hope that McFarlane can keep like the adult collectors when it comes to their figures for DC. The Page Punchers. Hopefully they continue the Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures and the Justice League figures, because the ones that were put out by DC Collectibles years ago, they go for a lot of money on the secondary market, and I really wasn't collecting. I was collecting figures, but I wasn't collecting DC figures. I was strictly a Marvel Legends person. So, and I'm trying to backtrack and get some of those figures, but they're expensive. And the ones that McFarlane is producing, I mean, they're basically the same molds, but the quality is not the same. I have a few from DC Collectibles versus the McFarlane figures, and the quality is not as good as the DC Collectibles. But it's cool that he's producing them, because that's way we as fans have a chance to be able to get those Batmobiles or those figures without paying a lot of money on the secondary market. So that's cool. But so overall, should you get this Batmobile? Well, if you're a Batman fan like me, then yes. If you're not a Batman fan, or you don't feel like it, or it's out of your budget, I understand. I do feel like this Batmobile should have come with it should have come with this figure with the wired cape, because I think this Batman. Oh, another thing is I do have the Rebirth Batman from the DC Icons line from DC Collectibles. I just don't feel like digging them out. But he's smaller and he has a plastic cape, so he might be able to fit in this Batman, but I don't feel like digging them out for this review. I might try it off later. I might put it on Instagram or whatever. So, but yeah, I feel like this Batmobile should have come with this figure. Obviously, we're getting this figure, but it's going to be with the wired cape. This particular mold, or not this particular Batman, but this particular mold has been produced, I think 4 times. This figure here, the one that was just up on the display, the New 52 figure. There was one that was part of the digital whatever line, and that was blue and gray. and then the upcoming figure with the wired cape. But I feel like this Batmobile should have come with this Batman. I mean, to me, it's bad business practice for McFarlane. So, and rant time. I do enjoy DC Multiverse from McFarlane, but I'm kind of glad that they're losing the license, but I'm not necessarily happy that Mattel is getting the license, because I have a soft spot for Mattel to an extent, because I started buying DC Universe Classics as an adult. That's when I started getting into figures as an adult collector, because I wasn't collecting for a long time, as you know, when I left childhood and teenage years or whatever. But they were getting a little bit better towards the end, but they were still behind when it comes to Marvel Legends and stuff. And I was impressed with DC Multiverse from McFarlane. You know, they weren't the best, but I was really impressed that, because the line came out right when COVID was hitting. So, and he was still able to produce stuff and get stuff out there during the pandemic, you know, which was impressive. And he kept the prices at reasonable, $20. $25 for a figure with a build a figure piece. It was affordable. The vehicles were affordable, you know, but it seemed like he's gotten greedy. And then the platinum chase figures, that just pisses me off. It's like there's been so many characters that I wanted, but they were not just the regular platinum chase, but the red platinum. So I had to pay a little bit more money to get them from places like CMD Store or eBay, because I was not going to sit there and be driving, spending the whole day looking for toys. I got a life. I got a family. I got a life. I'm not trying to do all that stuff. So the chase figures, you know, this is not the 90s anymore. It's not the 2000s. We're done with that. But yeah, anyways, ran over. So I like this Batmobile. If you can get it, get it. If you don't get it, it's understandable. I like it. Like I said, I got it strictly for my Mayfix Batman figures, the Hush figures and stuff, because it is a comic-based Batmobile, so it can fit in. And I think it's like the only modern Batmobile that we have that's comic-based. So I like the figure. I like the vehicle. It's cool. Not perfect. I mean, especially for the price. I mean, this came off. But so yeah, now you know it comes off. But yeah, I think that the figure or the Batmobile should have come at least with the figure, because what they're charging, it should have come with that figure. And it's like, to me, it's jacked up that you have to pay more money to get the Batman to go with this vehicle. To me, that's just jacked up. But I don't know. But anyways, enough ranting. Like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching my videos. I'm not the best reviewer. As you can see, my review table is dirty because I was doing some custom work and some stuff spilled. So, and sorry about the lighting. I'm not the best. Like I said, give me some pointers, what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. But I appreciate y'all for watching my videos. I really do. Thanks again. Stay safe. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, life is not short, but you know, enjoy life, people. Thanks for watching.